In this module, we're going to cover a tool that allows you to connect and control your multiple social media websites to make one continuous web presence.
That sounds really complicated.
It's actually very simple. Let me show you how it works.
All right.
So this is the homepage of IFTTT.com, which stands for If This Then That.
I think it's pronounced if.
I could be very wrong there, but on this website we see that when you first log in, it's incredibly simple. It's just put the internet to work for you.
What, 4 things there?
Yeah, you can join, or if you already have an account like I do, you can sign in. So a very simple, very straightforward login screen. Type in your email and your password. When you sign in, you open up straight to your dashboard, which is, again, just a little bit of information, nothing too overwhelming.
Okay, so it's talking about recipes. What is a recipe?
A recipe is the fundamental algorithm that this whole thing works on. The if this, then that algorithm is a recipe. Okay. So if one thing happens somewhere, then make something else happen somewhere else.
Okay. So what kind of things can it make happen?
It can do a lot of different things depending on what channel it comes from. And channel is what they call another website or web server.
Okay. So like what would be an example of a channel? An
example of a channel would be maybe Twitter or your Gmail or Facebook.
Okay.
Any of these social media websites, anything you can do online, just about. There's a whole lot of websites that are on here. And not only that, but there's a few simple things like RSS feeds or the weather or even the date and time.
Wow, okay.
So if you scroll down, you can see some of the suggested recipes, and you see a few of the things I'm talking about described really simply, like this one. Send me an email if there will be rain tomorrow. Okay. So there's something coming from the weather channel and then something going to your email channel. And whenever it's about to rain, it'll send you an email.
Okay, that makes more sense. So if it's going to rain, then send me an email. That's the if this, then that.
That's right.
Okay. So how would we set up one of these recipes? Is it hard to do?
It's not. And the first thing we're going to need to do is set up a channel.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we can't just automatically log into all of our stuff. We need to set up our individual channels so it can pull our blog posts and tweets and emails and calendar events.
We've got to have the ingredients before we build the recipe.
That's right.
So how do we set up our ingredients?
So we set up those by, at the very top, you can see there's this bar, My Recipes, Create, Browse, and Channels. If you click Channels, you see little symbols showing all the websites that it connects to.
Wow, that's a lot of channels.
There are. And you'll see some of these are already in color, whereas everything else is black and white. The ones that are black and white are things that you have to set up for yourself.
Okay.
Maybe your Facebook or your Gmail. But a couple of these other ones, like, say, Craigslist or the date and time, you don't need to set that up for yourself. Those are things you may need to set where your location is in it, but it's already set up for your location. When you sign in, you have to give your zip code. Or your date and time, I believe, is already set up because you can't change the date and time. They're pretty consistent across the board. Now, let's go ahead and connect one of the channels or activate one of the channels.
Okay.
So if we go down to YouTube, YouTube's not activated.
Okay.
So I come to this page. I come to this page and I see that it has not been activated because there's an activate button.
Makes sense.
So I click activate. And this page comes up. Since YouTube is part of Google and I'm already logged into Gmail on another tab or because I'm working, I don't have to put in my login information. I just have to tell Google that I would like to grant the site IFTTT access to my YouTube account.
Okay, I see.
And I trust IFTTT. I trust Google to, protect me. So I click grant access.
I trust everybody.
So there we go. It's as simple as that. Now my YouTube channel is activated.
Which means that IFTTT is connected to your YouTube channel. So it knows what you do on YouTube, or it knows, I guess, when people watch your videos?
It knows a couple of different things, and it would be nice if it said everything that you could do from your YouTube.
Sure, yeah.
But you will be able to see it when you try to set up a recipe from it.
Okay. So let's set up a recipe.
All right. So now we've got this channel, and if you look at my channels, I've also got Facebook pages and Twitter set up. So let's create a recipe. So you can either go from your dashboard or from this top bar, create.
Okay.
And just like everything else on this website, it's incredibly simple. If this is a link, I click this. And I see those same channels, but only the things that have inputs. If something's only an output, then it doesn't show up here. But I think just about everything has an if incoming this. So maybe a Facebook comment, a YouTube view. So let's scroll down to YouTube. Click on that, and we get this dialog that says choose a trigger. So these are things that either I do or that are done to me that I would see on my YouTube account.
Okay. So when I add a video to my favorites playlist, that would be one of the triggers.
Correct.
Or when I add a watch later video, or when I upload a video.
Yes.
So I don't get the option to, every time somebody watches one of my videos. That's not one of the triggers they have available.
Correct. Yeah. There's, like I said, when you first activate the channel, it doesn't say everything that's on it, which that would be nice, but they do have a surprising number of things that you can post. But yeah, so if we choose from these triggers, maybe whenever I upload a new video.
Okay.
So if I want every time I upload a new video to tweet it to my Facebook page, or to tweet it to my Twitter account.
Okay.
Then I click on this new video upload and create the trigger. So now if I have a new video uploaded by BLBURRI, my account, then that. And again, we have all the options of the channels. Do I want to post it to Evernote so I can remember it forever? Do I want to post it to Facebook? Or do I want to push it to someone or something?
I haven't even heard of most of these channels, to be honest with you.
There's a lot on here. And there seems to be more being added all the time, which is nice. But we wanted to tweet it, so we click on the Twitter.
There's Twitter.
And if you look here, you have all these actions. I can post a tweet. I can post a tweet with an image, add a user to a list if it was something where maybe some other prompt. Maybe I have a new Facebook friend and I add them to a user list. Or if somebody else follows me, I can add them to a user list. Because you can do it from within the same channel. If something from Twitter, then something from Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Or in this case, if something from YouTube, I want to post a tweet. And then it has these little blue things, which you see, and when we type in, you see that they're got a little bit of coding behind them. And what that is the title from the YouTube video and the URL to it.
Gotcha. So every time, if we complete this recipe, then every time I upload a new video to YouTube, it would post a tweet on your account with the title of the video and then a link to the video.
Correct.
Which would be kind of confusing by itself. We ought to put something else in there.
And this is a text field. This is a totally normal text field. So I agree. So if we put before the title, I just uploaded a new YouTube video, then now every tweet would say, I just uploaded a new YouTube video with the title of the video and a link to it. And there are other ingredients like the beginning of the video description or the author's name if it was coming from multiple accounts.
But Twitter's kind of small. We probably can't fit a lot in there anyway.
You can't fit a lot, but if you're posting to, say, your blog or to
Facebook, or something like that,
that has a larger than 140 characters. But Twitter's kind of small, so this would be enough. And all I have to do is create action. That completes my that. And this last page is the description of it. So if I not only make this, but I want to share it with the world, and I want to say this is a new recipe that I made that you can try yourself. I imagine someone's made this because it's a very simple recipe. But if they hadn't, I put a description posts a tweet when a new video is uploaded to YouTube.
Good description.
Right? And I create my recipe, and I'm done. So now, anytime that I post upload a YouTube video, my Twitter account will have a new tweet saying that hey guys, I just made a new YouTube video, and here's the link to it.
Very nice.
And now when we look at my recipes, we see that right on top. Post a tweet when a new video is uploaded to YouTube.
Very nice.
Yep. So it's pretty simple to use, and this could be used for your personal social media, but can also be useful for a business. Say you want to make sure that your Facebook and your Twitter are consistent, or you want to make sure that when you change your profile picture, that changes all your profile pictures.
Gotcha. So I have to ask, how much does something like IFTTT cost?
IFTTT is free, at least for this foreseeable future, but it is technically in beta, as listed at the bottom of the website. So as far as we know right now, it's free, and it does post when you post on Facebook or Twitter that it was posted from IFTTT, kind of self-advertising, getting itself more popular.
Wow, it's a great tool for free. Are there any drawbacks to using it?
There's a few drawbacks, particularly you can't preview a recipe, so if you want to make sure that it's working, you kind of have to make it work. So if you've already established your Twitter or Facebook, then you can't unpost, and you can't see what it will look like exactly. You kind of have to trust that you did it right. Another drawback is when you establish a channel, you don't know exactly what prompts it has.
Kind of have to just go through and do it.
You have to go through and do it and see what it can do exactly.
Okay. But still, that's a fantastic tool for free.
Absolutely.
So are there any other tools out there like it?
None yet, though there are a few that are up and coming based on this model. This has been IFTTT, a great tool for connecting your different social media sites and channels.
And this is Secrets of the Web.